I know there was a report out there. You guys know that wasn't from me. I really have nothing to add to that. My focus is on this team, and we're a 3-4 football team right now, and we've got to find a way to win this week. So my focus is on learning from yesterday and then getting ready for this week. With that being said, Sam will start at quarterback this week. I've said to you guys that there's going to be some high moments and some low moments. I think how he responds this week is going to be important for him and to our team. And I think I made the right decision yesterday, to be quite honest with you. It wasn't good enough.
Matt Rhule, Panthers coach, benched Sam Darnold on Sunday. Look, they're one of the teams that is closing in on trying to get Deshaun Watson. It's the Dolphins and it's the Panthers, and it could be done as soon as today to Miami. If it's Carolina, I think it may take a little bit longer, but Miami is Deshaun's first choice, but it could pivot to Carolina, Chris. And if you listen carefully to what Matt Rhule said and what he didn't say, I mean, it's not his call. This is David Tepper.
Yeah.
These are ownership-level calls. These are decisions that are made at the highest levels of a franchise, and they are made with the idea of getting a franchise quarterback in mind. And I don't think Matt Rhule would complain about upgrading from Sam Darnold and P.J. Walker to Deshaun Watson if that's the way it plays out. But this isn't something that Matt Rhule is going and banging on David Tepper's door saying, get me Deshaun Watson. It's the other way around.
Yeah,
and I think Rhule took the job knowing we're doing what we can to find a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
And, it's for all the good decisions David Tepper has made in business, the money he's thrown away on Teddy Bridgewater, now Sam Darnold, it just shows you he's desperate to find a guy who's going to be the long-term answer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that's why Matt Rhule probably took the job, though. He knew David Tepper was going to be aggressive and do what needed to be done to make the team successful, right? They're building that, big new facility, I believe, right in South, is it, at least close?
Rock Hill,
exactly.
South
right.
Carolina.
Yeah,
yep.
South Carolina. So, hey, he's given them the resources, but, yeah, quarterback's an issue. It is. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Hey, I'm going to sit here. I was a guy that was defending Sam Darnold, no doubt about it. I thought it would be better. I would, and I think Pete or even you would back up a little bit. Even through the 3 wins, I was a little bit like, man, it still wasn't great. There was some plays being missed, and now it's really fallen off. Let alone, I think really, if you watched film with me over the last few weeks, you'd go, man. People are all over Joe Brady's offense too. Now, there's no defending this. Like Drew Brees, he broke that down on Football Night in America. I mean, that was just a stupid decision. I don't know what else to say here. But they're having offensive issues all over the place. There's no doubt. And I understand them wanting the upgrade. But the big thing here that's different here, I mean, again, look how many people are around these receivers. That's where I think we got to look at it too. Yes, Sam Darnold's not great. But look how many plays we showed where it's 4 defenders around people. So that's where I'll defend Sam Darnold a little bit, but he's not Deshaun Watson. I know that. Deshaun Watson's the man. And to me, the big question is, like, it just sounds like from the people I know, Watson wants the Dolphins, and he doesn't want Carolina. That's a little I know about the situation a little bit. And I'm actually a little surprised to hear that, it's so strong in the favor of the Dolphins over Carolina, who's got a lot of things you would like if I'm a quarterback at least.
Well, and yes, he does want the Dolphins, and it could still pivot to the Panthers. And, he's the guy who's got the no-trade clause, and he's got to ultimately decide which team he's going to waive it for. And now, my understanding is that there are still other teams that are talking to the Texans, but they're so far behind where the Dolphins and the Panthers are. My understanding is the Dolphins and the Panthers basically have packages in place that the Texans would take. It just comes down to what Deshaun wants to do. And I feel like this is getting done by next Tuesday. They're not going to kick this beyond the trade deadline because the kid wants to play football. He wants to play. And they don't want him showing up next Wednesday saying, hey, here I am. Let's go do this thing. Because they don't want him to get injured during the back half of a lost season when they know they're going to trade him in March anyway. So I think, and I read between the lines on a lot of this stuff, and no one's going to come out and say it. I think they told him they were going to trade him. And, we heard a lot of we're taking it day to day back in September.
Right. Right.
I think that they've been doing what they can to keep him on board with their patience, and now it doesn't matter whether or not patience runs out; the trade period runs out. So I think it's going to happen. The question is where.
Right.
Now, the Broncos and the Eagles were the other two teams that have been linked to him. Mort reported on Sunday that the Eagles are out, and he may not want the Eagles. There's been reporting to that effect. If there's I've been trying to
look at another team.
Because the Dolphins aren't good. What's he going to do if he comes in? Assuming the league lets him play this year, that's a different issue altogether that we may or may not have time to get to. But the league's got to decide whether to let him to play.
Right.
Carolina, it's not like they're all of a sudden going to be great. They have issues there, although their defense is good. I keep going. It's a lot to do in a short time to do it. I don't know. If I'm the Browns, I'm kind of intrigued by Deshaun Watson.
It's interesting. It's an interesting thought. I hear you. Yeah, I mean, that would be just risky in the fact of where do you believe your team is? Where do you think they're going this year, right? So that's where they got to get to at least that conversation. Hey, listen, I mean, I think any team meddling around 500 probably has crossed the thought of, do we want Deshaun Watson to upgrade our team? It might add some headaches and some issues this year, but it could be a lot of good years after that. The other team that I look at, and to Carolina, it's not great right now, but damn, they do got DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. I mean, those are two, you better be careful playing them man-to-man a whole lot type of guys. So that's where I think I'm a little wow, I can't believe, or at least what I've heard, it's so in favor of Miami. I've also looked at the other possibilities, like Washington. Would Washington try to make a play for Deshaun Watson?
Can they bring him in with the legal issues given their issues?
Oh, that's the point. You're right. I'm thinking just football stuff, but you're right. That's another can of worms.
Dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things, so maybe they would try. Maybe there's somebody else's jersey they can retire the Sunday after they do it. I don't know. But that would be the red flag there,
right.
Given everything that they've been accused of as an organization and everything he's been accused of, that may be a tough one to sell.
Yeah, no, you're right, Mike. I didn't think about that purely from the football standpoint, and that makes sense. But as soon as you said that, that's some weird allegations already on your organization. You're going to bring a quarterback that's also got weird allegations on him. That doesn't seem like a marriage made in heaven there for sure. So, I mean, that's the only other one that really comes to my mind. Unless, I don't know, does the team like Detroit want to get involved in this right now? And again, but I'd have a hard time thinking Deshaun Watson's going to want to sign on with that group right now. They're totally at the infancy stages here of trying to rebuild a team. They don't got a lot to look at all for a guy like Watson to go, whoa, I see light at the end of the tunnel with that offense. So I don't know. I think we've kind of hit the teams for the most part.
And they've already got so much committed to Jared Goff, too. That's the other problem.
Yeah.
You can't extricate yourself from the guy you have. I'm sure that there are some Vikings fans out there that would say, even though Kirk Cousins has been good this year, he's been good.
Yep.
I'll take Deshaun Watson over Kirk Cousins. Yeah, but Kirk Cousins, he's got a $35 million fully guaranteed contract next year. And so does Watson. What are you going to do about that? So it's a difficult situation for a lot of these teams because you can't just flip the switch off on the guy that is currently your quarterback. Other teams may be able to do it. But, hey, look at Carolina. They got Sam Darnold with a fully guaranteed option year salary of $18 million that they're going to have to eat. And what are they going to do? If they trade him, it's going to have to be a Brock Osweiler type of a deal where they're going to have to give up assets to get somebody to take on his salary.
It's looking like that right now. Yep, you're right.
And look at what they did. They had to do with Teddy Bridgewater. They had to eat $7 million of his $10 million guaranteed salary.
Yeah.
So, I know that Tepper would view that as a sunk cost or some other economic term, but the bottom line is it makes it harder to have a team when you have that much money devoted to guys who aren't on your team anymore. But, Chris, I would say it's 75-25, Miami to Carolina. But it could happen to Miami as soon as today.
Oof.
It could.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, that's what we've always heard, and it's not that we've heard that. We know people that know what's going on, and it's a real rumor. You know, I mean, I couldn't believe. I still had people like fighting back on me, like, you know, social media like 4 weeks ago. Like, can we put those stupid rumors to rest now? Like, what? They're not rumors. It's real. Like, we're not sitting here trying to talk about this crap just to, like, you know, mislead our viewers and make you dumber by watching the show. That's not our goal here at PFT. Okay,
no, that just happens. That just happens
naturally. Sometimes we lead you down the dumb road, and I'll teach you how to speak dumb English for sure. There's no doubt about that. But I think our football thoughts a lot of the times are leading people down the right road, and it's because we have knowledge and we work at it and study it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.